everyone, and welcome to my Get Ready With Me graduation edition. Now I'm going to start with my primer so I can actually do my makeup while I talk to you. Now unfortunately, I'm not actually getting ready for my graduation right now. My graduation was actually about a month ago, and today I'm going to recreate the makeup look I did for that while telling you what happened that day. Because I want to remember the day and everything that happened, so I thought, why not share it with you? Also, we had our graduation during COVID and all that nonsense, which someday will be a thing of the past, and then hopefully people will find it interesting to hear how we did things. Now, as you may or may not have seen earlier this week, I posted the vlog of what happened. But let's start the day before graduation. I currently live on a farm 3 hours away from the university and where graduation, all that stuff was going to happen. So I was not going to risk driving through the day of, especially since I didn't have anything to wear yet and there's a bunch of stuff I wanted to get done beforehand. So the 4th of May, we drove down to town and we had to drop off the neighbor's sister. For those of you that don't know, I'm dating my neighbor, even though we're living together now. I still refer to him as my neighbor. And his sister lives in hostels. We went to drop her off at her hostel and we went to pick up a few things, and then we drove through from Pretoria to Johannesburg, which is where my parents stay. We met up with my mom in the mall after work, and first we went to go get my eyebrows waxed because I haven't tweezed or done anything to my eyebrows in ages and they were looking rough, and I was planning on getting them waxed so that I could film it and talk about the whole process, yada yada yada. But mostly so that I don't have to sit and tweeze them myself because that is effort and it takes time. We were in a mall that I went to a lot before I went to university, so I knew all the shops in there, and I was planning on getting my brows waxed at this one place, but apparently they had closed down and I had not known that. So we were running a little bit short on time. We were there about when shops were starting to close. So I was like, oh poop, where are we gonna go now? But luckily we found another place in the mall that does brows as well. They're a little bit more expensive, but they were nice. Everyone was very friendly, it smelled nice, it was all hygienic, they sprayed us, they checked us in, they did everything nice and proper, which is important to me, so I really enjoyed that aspect. And then when my mom was getting her brows waxed, because while we were there she decided she wanted to do hers too, we started looking for different dresses for me to wear. I had a rough idea of what I wanted. Like, I knew I didn't want to blow a lot of cash on a dress I would never wear again, because I ultimately live on a farm. There's no point in me getting like a ball gown or something and then I'm never gonna wear it. So I wanted something comfy, practical, but that still looked good. Now I already looked around online for like different ideas for what I could wear, and I already decided I want like a shirt dress or a sweater dress, so that's what I was looking for. But those were very hard to find. I had looked it up online and I found one in a pretty cheap place. I was surprised I found something like it. But then when I was in the mall, I decided to check out other shops as well. Like I looked in Woolies, I looked in YDE, even looked in Cotton On. I looked in all the shops that were there, hoping to find something similar. But I ultimately ended up getting the dress that I had seen online before we went shopping, which is the one I'm wearing right now. Well, not exactly. I just got it from the same place. It's the same color, but I wanted something that's like a bit of a thicker material, like a sweater. And then it had like embroidery that was like orange and black and stuff on the side. That looked really cool. I wanted that. But they unfortunately didn't have that dress available. And then I found this one, which is instead more of a sweater dress, so it's a softer material, but it's still the same color and still the same style, so I decided to go with it, and I'm very happy with the choice I made. I'm actually very glad I decided on something long sleeve, because when we got the toga to wear, it looked really nice that I had my own sleeves underneath. Anyways, after we did our shopping, we went back to my mom's place because that's where we were going to spend the night. We set up and organized everything where we were going to stay. But it was Star Wars Day, it was the 4th of May, and I am part of the university's executive committee, and we were hosting a quiz night that was Star Wars themed. So once we got everything settled in, we had like a really quick dinner, and then I was on my computer emceeing a quiz night. I was a little weird about it because as much as I like talking to the camera, I haven't spoken to an audience in a very long time, and I wasn't entirely sure if I'd be able to create the atmosphere we were going for, but at the end of the day, it went really well, and I had a lot of fun with the quiz night. Then after the quiz night, we have this friend who's really into Star Wars, and he annually does something for Star Wars Day. So once we were done with the quiz night, my older sister, the neighbor, and I hopped in the car and went to their place for just like half an hour or something. Kind of just to pop in, say hi, because I hadn't seen them in a very long time, but it was already late and we knew we were gonna get up early the next morning. So I pretty much just said hi and came back. All while masked and social distanced because that stuff's important to me. Just want to put that out there. But then we went to bed and got up early the next morning because I still had to get ready and we had to be on the sports campus at 12. They told us a bunch of scary stuff that ended up not being relevant, to be honest. Like they said, you'd only be allowed 2 guests, and if you're more than 15 minutes late, you're not going to get your certificate and you're going to have to come back much later and stuff like that. Which, that didn't matter at all. They didn't close the gates or anything. You could come anytime you wanted between 12 and 3. But we got up, we had a really quick breakfast because we had to go get my hair done. I didn't have anything specific planned with my hair. I just knew I wanted it to look nice, and I had semi-recently, like December, I cut my hair short. It used to be down just about onto my hips, and then I cut it up to like right here onto my shoulders. Now it's kind of like almost on my chest, and I haven't really been exploring different hairstyles that look good with the length I have right now. So I went to the hairdressers and I told them, you know, whatever looks nice, I'm going to graduation. And they just washed and straightened my hair, which was a little bit of a letdown. I was hoping for like a funky curl or something nice that I can't do myself. But at the end of the day, I was actually very happy it was straight because it was easy to manage. It still looked good like 3 days later. And I think it suited the overall look. So I'm actually glad they just straightened my hair for me. Mind you, they definitely straightened it better than I ever would have. I have a very old hair straightener. I need to get myself a new one. At this point, we were already running a little bit late because I'd initially planned on doing my hair in one place that's like 5 minutes from my mom's house, which is the place where I did my hair for Matric Farewell. But then she was like, no, you should go to this other place. I booked an appointment for you there. And it was like a 20-minute drive away. And I was like, Mom, we're like short on time here. But she was like, just go to this place. You're gonna like it. And it turned out fine, but we were running a little short on time now. So right after that, we went back to my mom's place and I had to get my makeup done. My mom decided that she also wanted to get her hair done and my younger sibling was going to get his hair done. And I was a little worried that they weren't going to be on time because mom is always late. And I was under the impression that if you're not there at 12, they're not going to let you in. So my mom had to leave at 11 at the latest because we're an hour away from the university where she stays. So I was a little bit like, are you guys sure you're going to be on time? But just focused on getting myself ready. I was going to go through with my dad. He was going to drive me through. My dad is always early, so I knew we'd definitely be on time if we drove with him. Plus, then we'd get to spend some time with him. Which is important because I didn't want to exclude either of my parents. I am the first and presumably only kid to graduate, so it's kind of a big deal. And growing up, my dad was always more of the one that was like, education's important, you have to get a degree, so I thought it would be worthwhile including him in the day. And he did seem to enjoy it. A few times he told me like, this is a pretty big achievement. I don't think you realize how important this is. And all that good stuff. Anyways, I had to do my makeup. That's the last thing I had to do and get ready before we could leave. So I set myself up outside. So obviously I didn't have to wear my mask because everyone else was inside, and started with my makeup. And I decided to use this Cardi Bible palette that I'm using right now because I'm recreating the same look. Because I got it just before I started university, like the December before we started. So whenever I was wearing makeup on campus, it was typically from this palette. And I had like a go-to everyday type of makeup look I would do. Not that I often repeated it. I usually like filmed in the morning and just wore whatever I did to campus. But if I was like, no, I'm just gonna do a little something for today, it would be this palette. So because of that dumb sentimental connection, I guess I was like, I'm gonna use this palette for today. Plus, it had the soft vibes I was going for. It's gonna match the color of the dress and everything like that. I definitely didn't want to do anything too dramatic, so it ended up being something pretty quick and easy, as you will see soon. Then I put on the jewelry and I hopped in the car with my dad and we chatted in the car for an hour as we drove to campus. My lab partner and friend Bianca asked me if we could pick her up and take her to the sports campus where graduation was going to be. And I'm very glad we did because I ended up getting to spend the day with her, the friend that was next to me every step of the way in my second and third year. And we graduated together. I thought it was a very nice thing that we got to do graduation together. Anyways, we went to pick her up, we went in, they did their health checks and all that nonsense. They then showed us where we can get our togas, which is like that big black thing you wear when you graduate with a hat and everything. She had pre-ordered hers, I hadn't, so she went into her road to pick out hers and I went into the different one where you can rent one on the day. It was something like 150 rand, so I think like $10 to rent it for the day. And they were very nice. They were very much against photography, so I couldn't vlog a lot of this process. Presumably because they want the photographers on the inside to get paid But the people were very nice. They put the cap and the gown on you and they told you like, congratulations, you look great, and they were very sweet about it. I enjoyed it. And because I'm in the natural and agricultural faculty, I got like a green thing. Like our sash was green, our little tassel was green. And I loved it because green's my favorite color and it was a nice shade of green. I was very happy with it. After we got all our stuff together, Bianca and I quickly just went to the bathroom to make sure we're like feeling good, we're looking good. We adjusted our shoes. We were both wearing heels. I was wearing these really pretty like nude rose gold wedges that I bought like more than a year ago, more than 2 years ago. And like I never got the chance to wear them and I was like, I am gonna wear these things for graduation. They're comfy and they're very cute. Anyways, we strapped ourselves in, we made sure we were ready, and then we went to where they were sorting us according to our surnames. They had lines for every like group of letters. They were like A to C is gonna be here, D to F here, and stuff like that. And then they would take the first person of each line to go in to the table for that group of letters on the inside. And luckily my surname starts with a V, and there aren't a lot of kids with V, it seems, so I was second in line in my category, and it was over really quick for me. I really just walked in, got my certificate, and walked out. You had to bring a copy of your ID or your student card because they had to know who was picking up the certificates, just their admin on their side. But they had me sign something saying that I have received my certificate, yada yada yada. He handed it over. It was a pretty thick envelope. It had my certificate in it. It had the schedule for like all the graduations happening in it. And it had all the information on who was graduating with me and stuff like that. And then something that was very cute was on your way out, they give you a little pin that I'll show you. There's like a little university badge that you got for graduating. I thought that was very sweet. I love receiving like small things like that. Then I went into a bit of a dark hallway. It was a little strange, but it was where they were taking the pictures. Had to fill in like a yellow slip with your name and details and all that. They had you put everything you had on you, if you had a bag, your cell phone, your certificate and stuff like that, in a plastic box the way they do at the airport, and they moved it for you from the beginning of the pictures to the end of the pictures. So once you were inside the picture hall, they took a picture, I believe of like just your face, because they didn't have you hold your certificate or anything. They just like made you stand at a nice angle, adjusted your hat for you, and took a picture of you. At the second photograph station, it was more of like an upper body shot, and they had you hold your certificate. They like moved you and they were like, hold the certificate here and here, smile, yada yada yada. It was pretty quick. It was actually fun. You know, I do take pictures of myself a lot, but it's not every day I get pictures taken of me. So I enjoyed that experience. And then the third station was like a full body shot that had you stand on a little thing and someone took a picture with you, I believe. I'm not sure if the guy was actually in the picture or not. He might have been someone important. It ultimately went by really fast. Now, full disclosure, we did not take pictures with our masks on. They had us take it off just as we were going to take our picture and put it back on afterwards. And I was a little wary of it because I am pretty wary of COVID regulations in general, but they said since everyone had to pass a health check to be on campus, we should all be safe around each other. So I was like, I guess, but I quickly put my mask back on afterwards. Then when I was done, I met my dad and the neighbor outside and we started taking some pictures while we were waiting for Bianca to finish up. We also ran into another lab partner of mine. His name is Mike. We've also been friends for a while. And all three of us agreed to take pictures together. I had to make my wings uneven as they were on the day itself. Anyways, all three of us decided to take pictures together, so we agreed to take our masks off around each other, and we got a few lovely pictures. There was also a fourth guy who I have spotted him often before tests and stuff like that. Like I knew of his existence, but we never actually spoke. But he knew Mike and he was there with Mike, so we officially got to introduce ourselves to each other, and then the four of us were together for the day. And I definitely had a lot of fun. So my mom and my siblings were there and we all got to take pictures together. We got to take family pictures with all five of us. So my mom, my dad, my younger brother, and my older sister, and obviously me in my fancy graduation gear. So we just hung out there on the sports campus, took a bunch of pictures together of everyone. My mom packed a bit of a picnic, so we popped some alcohol-free champagne on campus, and we all had a little bit of that. My dad then had to go back, so I continued hanging out with my friends and my mom. We dropped Bianca off again afterwards, said goodbye to Mike and everyone. It was great seeing them again. Like, I missed them, but I didn't realize how much I missed them, so I really had a lot of fun getting to see my friends again. And for it to be such a celebratory day made it even better. So at the end of the day, I had graduated with my Bachelor's of Science in Microbiology from the University of Pretoria. And I'm pretty proud of that. I am very happy with my degree, and I definitely had a lot of fun. I'm definitely glad I did the university thing, as you can assume, because I'm still sticking around for honors this year. But the 5th of May is also my older sister's birthday, and she turned 24 on the day. And I was pretty aware of this fact because I don't want anyone to gate crash my birthday because it's my day. So I definitely didn't want to take over the whole day for her. But she's also not really big on celebrating herself, so it was kind of weird being like, I want to give you attention, and her being like, I don't really want attention, it's fine. But after we had finished everything on campus, my sister chose where we were going to eat to celebrate, and she chose a teriyaki grill. I don't remember ever having gone to a proper one before, so it was definitely a fun experience. We had some yummy prawns, we had some deep fried ice cream, and it was overall a very nice experience. The place went out of their way to make it special, and I definitely appreciated that. But then after dinner, we went back home, we chilled for a little bit, and then went to bed early again, or at least we tried to, because I was gonna have a very early morning the next day. I decided to wear massive lashes on the day because I had recently gotten used to wearing these, and I like them. I like the look, but of course now, they're not participating. My sister has been trying to put me on magnetic lashes, but I'm just so not interested in them. I'm finally getting a hang of this glue business, thank you. Look at this one. What is this king doing? Now the next morning I got up at like 6 or something because I had a photo shoot early in the morning, again in Pretoria. This was for the executive committee that I am a part of, so I had brought my uniform, I had to get up, I pretty much did the same makeup again, minus the lashes. I did not have the time to do my lashes. And then we drove through to Pretoria, and the neighbor did some running around, running some errands, getting some stuff while we're still in town while I was doing the photo shoot. Which turned out pretty fine, but I'm not a fan of the angle they used to take the picture. I guess it's because I'm a little taller than most people, or at least I was taller than the photographer, so she caught like a little bit of a low angle, and I feel like it makes my chin look so big. Like, I know I have a bit of a squish here, but the angle like really accentuated it, so I'm like, oh, this is not my favorite picture, but it's a very professional picture. So at least I have that now. And then finally it was all done, and we drove back home. We got here, we were so tired. We didn't sleep really well when we were in town because it is so cold. Like, I was prepared for it to be cold. I knew, like, we're heading into winter, it's cold. But I wasn't ready for it to be that cold. Now, of course, I haven't straightened my hair. I just washed it yesterday. So this is as close as we're gonna get today to what I looked like for graduation. I'm quickly gonna pop on all the jewelry, put on the watches, the rings, the earrings. Kind of give you an idea of the final result. I was wearing this rose gold and soft pink watch that my mom gave me for graduation. My nails were longer, they're short now, and I had them painted like a soft pink that was a little shiny, so it matched really well. I then wore these 2 golden rings, one on each hand. I've shown them to you before in like my jewelry collection video. I've really been getting into rings a bit more, so I definitely wanted to wear rings at graduation. It was also a thing I decided in first year, that I want to learn how to wear rings, and I finally think I've figured it out to some extent now that I actually have rings. So of course I had to wear them to graduation. And of course I decided to wear pearls for graduation because since high school, pearl earrings have been like a thing for me. I remember when I was grade 8 and grade 9, the school I was in, they said only the seniors can wear pearl earrings, and I was like, man, I can't wait. And then when I was a senior, I was in a school where they didn't allow pearl earrings, and I was so upset. Like, I would try and wear them, but I'd always get in trouble. So when uni came, I was like, I'm gonna wear my pearl earrings everywhere because no one can stop me now. And now they're just a thing. I just really like pearl earrings. But then this is the final results, plus the story of how my graduation went in the midst of a pandemic. I think it's quite poetic how I, a microbiology major, ended up graduating in a pandemic. I never thought I'd live to see one. Not that I am happy it's happening, but it's very interesting that something so specifically relevant to my field of study ended up happening while I was studying it. Taking virology in my 3rd year was quite the experience. There wasn't a ceremony for us to attend in person, but instead they posted a video online for us. They sent us the link, which I will have down in the video description if you want to see my name pop up and see that I did in fact graduate with a degree in microbiology. Oh, it's so cool to say that. I'm glad I'm done. Like, now I have the option to be like, I'm done, I'm over, I'm dropping out, because I already have a degree. If I decided I want to finish my honors, it's fine, I already have something. Now, I don't quite know what's going to happen next in life, but I don't have to know yet. But I do know that I definitely enjoyed filming this video today, and I hope you enjoyed watching it as much as I enjoyed filming it. And I look forward to seeing you again next time, where I'll be wearing the same look and telling you about getting my eyebrows waxed. Bye!